All right, thank you. So today we are here, students of throughout the state of Washington. We are here to ask for justice for Antonio. We also have separate organizations that are here to show support for this movement. Those organizations are including MECHA and Washington Dream Act Coalition. We also have One America, NAACP, and other organizations that will be here as a representative, as well as Community Solutions, who are here to fight for justice for Antonio. We're not going to stop fighting until we find this justice here in the city of Pasco. Today we have the privilege to have the attorney who is representing the mother and the daughter in the case, and that's el señor Trejo. So please, sir.
It's an honor to be here before you today in support of my clients, Teresa and her children. Standing to my sides are the aunts or tias of Teresa, who I've grown very close to, Marta and Linda.
Yes.
This case is not merely a case for me, but it has turned into a labor of love. Also behind me, it is an honor and a great privilege to have so many students from Eastern Washington University, from the MECHA organization, el Movimiento Estudiantil Chicanos de Aztlán, who have come together to put on this lovely rally today in honor of Antonio Zambrano, as well as the individuals such as Gabriel Portugal, a Hispanic advocate here in the community, members of Consejo Latino, David Brookbank from the Spokane Social Alternative. David and Marta Cortinas from La Voz Hispanic newspaper, One America's, and a number of other prominent individuals from the city of Pasco and Franklin County. It's not only an honor to be here, but it's a disheartening time for the city of Pasco and Franklin County. Disheartening because we are dealing with the loss of a life of Antonio Zambrano, a man who is loved by his family, a man who, until he broke both of his wrists shortly before he was murdered, worked as a farm laborer and was truly a hard-working individual. Now we are gathered all here together, and many more here in the community, fighting for justice for Antonio Zambrano. We are fighting together as a community. We are fighting together so that not only does the Zambrano family not suffer injustices, but that all the Hispanic people, all the citizens of this county not suffer the same type of injustices that occurred in this case. In terms of Hispanic people, let us not forget that Franklin County, not the city, but the county itself, is comprised of over 70% Latinos. We have a voice in this community. We simply need this voice to be heard, and Antonio Zambrano will help us make sure that our voice is heard now and in the future. We have been let down tremendously by our elected officials. And quite frankly, they have lacked the intestinal fortitude to do what is right in this case. It is time for us to put pressure on those in charge. It is time for us to demand change. It is time for us to demand justice from those who are in power. It is time for those who killed Antonio Zambrano to be brought to justice.
Woo! Yeah.
It did not take much time for the prosecutor in Charleston, South Carolina, to charge the killer police officer with murder.
That's right.
The officer shot 8 times, hitting the poor African American man 5 times in the back. We cannot forget the history of South Carolina, a state that back in the day was a powerful Ku Klux Klan state. Now, to its credit, South Carolina passed a law at the turn of the century calling the KKK a terrorist organization.
Yeah.
And they immediately charged that cop with murder. They immediately fired him from his position. And here we are, more than 2 months later, and what has happened to the 3 cops in this case?
Paid vacation.
Paid vacation. Nothing. Let's have an inquest. Why? There's no need for an inquest in this case. The video speaks for itself. They are cold-blooded killers, and we don't have a prosecuting attorney with the intestinal fortitude to do what is right, to charge all 3 of his police officers with murder, and to let a jury of their peers decide what degree of homicide they are guilty with. So here in Franklin County, Washington, we have a Mexican man, Antonio Zambrano, chased down a street and a sidewalk in Pasco, shot at wildly 17 times. So wildly that a bullet went into a window of a service station, not where near where he was standing or crossing the street, where a woman was working inside, nearly killing that woman. But again, no police officer has yet to be charged. Is there a cover-up going on in this case?
I believe so.
There certainly is evidence to suggest one. At the very first briefing by the so-called special investigations, we were told by Sergeant Ken Layton that without a doubt, the officers did not shoot Antonio in the back. That nowhere in the back of Antonio's body did they find a single bullet.
Liars. It's a lie.
Liars!
Pants on fire.
The subsequent autopsy that was done outside of this county clearly established 2 bullet wounds to the back. 2 bullet wounds to the back and at least 5 more to the front. So what does that show you? That as he was running away, He got shot twice in the back, stopped, and as he turned, giving up, they unloaded and shot 5 more to his front torso, killing him coldly on the sidewalk here in Pasco. Straight out murder. A